This is Good Bones. What was supposed to be a podcast until life got in the way. I'm not very good at living. 1 minute it's a dream, and the next 3, 2, 1.
Right now, a mental hospital patient is on the loose. Police right now are searching for this man.
And tonight, police are searching for a man who escaped a psychiatric facility.
This man, who escaped, we're told, from a mental health center.
Possibly armed and dangerous after escaping from a mental health facility.
If you see him, please call Crime Stoppers.
I thought I saw Angie the first time I drove into town, Sheriff. The second time, Angie! Come back, Tonight. I promise, Angie. Tonight. I never meant to bring your wife into this, Sheriff. I thought you were going to answer the door, and it would be an easy trade. Good day, ma'am. I'm here in support of the Salvation Army, and I was just wondering what... But the world is full of innocent bystanders who simply made the wrong choice. Your wife chose to answer the door. You chose to ignore all the creeps in your town. And I chose Angie. I chose to ignore my family. I chose no life over one where I didn't get my way. You take away one life and you can't go back. You take away more lives and you can't go forward. Not without dragging bodies. It's time, Sheriff. If you can walk, I'll let you walk. If you can't walk, I'll drag you out. Suit yourself. Here we go, Sheriff. Right next to your wife. What did you say? Sheriff. Hey, Sheriff. No. Sheriff, you have to stay with me long enough for this to work. Sheriff. Okay, let's get it started then. Goodbye, Sheriff. It's been a pleasure figuring you out. There's too much rain. I can't see.
Hands up, Mr. Jones. Your hands up.
Deputy Lamar. Just wait. Going to ruin this.
No movement. Keep your hands up.
Please, I have to finish this.
Sheriff, what did you do to him? This wasn't supposed to happen. I sent you the book so you wouldn't come back here. I sent you the recorder. I sent you...
Rufus. Not so blind after all. What the hell are you doing here? Hey. Huh? Right. There were times when it seemed Rufus possessed vision. When he threw a rock at the cabin. When he led me to the river. When he knew I'd returned to play Joe's song. Then I started playing again, and he knelt beside the sheriff's wife, wiping the rain from her face, stroking her wet hair, until she opened her eyes, and I... Okay, I'll play. Stop, I'll play. Rufus returned to the sheriff's wife and whispered something in her ear. She looked in his eyes, nodded, and took his hand. He helped her up as if she hadn't died that afternoon. They walked away from the piano, hand in hand, disappearing into the forest like it owned them. And I... Angie! Joe! Lisa! 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 Joe. Lisa. I have this fantasy where I drove from the cabin and went directly to my daughter's house. I asked her to forgive me. I asked Nancy to forgive me. I began the process of making things right between us. But only in a fantasy world could I have seen them without dragging them further into my mistakes. As fantastic as it may seem, this isn't a fantasy. This isn't a podcast. This is... Mexican Independence Day.